Assalamu alaikum and good greetings. So today I'll be watching a video titled Finding My Community as a Chinese Muslim. This is us. This is from a channel called Mothership SG. Mothership SG. This is a Singaporean channel, I believe, and I think watched several videos before where revert in Singapore mostly are Chinese. So I assume this is another one. Without further ado, let's watch.
Actually, auntie 我是华人啊。
Then what auntie reply?
你华人啊？真的咩？等我你看那个。
Without this community, I'll be lonely, so lonely. Eunice began her faith journey in Islam during her tertiary education. Before conversion, Eunice has been raised by her family in another religion of whom her parents...
My parents are quite...
Wait, I cannot... A staunch believer.
My parents are quite strict. Like, as time went by, then they saw that it was getting more serious. Then they became more defensive, in the sense of they do not want anything with regards to Islam in the house. So there was this one time when I accidentally had the Quran app open on my phone. So they saw it lah, and then they were like really angry with me. Yeah, so they were like, "Go, get out now." They were like, "Don't have anything about Islam in this house." It was quite sad. This is what I believe like is the truth. So I just wish that my parents would learn about it, even if they don't believe in it, right? At least they learn, and then they have the knowledge to see. But like when that happened, I realized that they are still not open to the learning portion. Right?
Unable to find common ground, Eunice moved out to ease the tension at home after she got married. Okay. I do wonder meaning the process to get married, how involved were the parents? Because it mentioned that she got out after the marriage, meaning that during the marriage she is still living with the family, right?
My first few years of conversion, I didn't really have much support. It was just him, so he bore the brunt of whatever I was going through. Yeah.
Really disappointed.
Yeah, actually I struggled a lot about it for a while. Like I would really try to find this community. Like when we went for classes, we would like purposely go and talk to people and like try to form bonds, but then it just didn't manage to find that community. So it was very lonely. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum. We are from Convert Central. I got to know Eunice through Convert Central.
So that's a community for convert, I assume.
So it is a very homey, beautiful community of convert and born Muslims where everybody is welcome and you can come and just talk about God, and you can bond over how beautiful the religion is, and it's like-minded Muslim community that is like no other.
Most love. I think Eunice and Abbas, because like we've known each other for so long, right? And they've always been so welcoming in their house. They are people that when I think of good Muslims, like they pop into my mind first.
They're like my second family. Yeah, like we share a lot of times together, good times.
It is good to see this kind of effort. I sincerely feel that, because the hardest challenge for human being, especially when you trying to overcome a big challenge, is when you are doing that alone. The feel of the burden while being lonely, that is we shouldn't let anyone in that state. So effort like this, I hope in any geographical area, in any country, in any states, etc., where people can create community like this for those who just revert, or even if from a Muslim that is not practicing to become a practicing Muslim, there are challenges there, and without community that goes together to thick and thin, etc., it will be challenging. So that group, that bonds is important. I have discussed with some friends before, when we look at in this is in the context of Malaysia, we have those are officially Muslim in the entertainment industry, which normally, generally speaking, not really practicing Islam. Some of them, we call it, they have their hijrah, meaning suddenly, for whatever reason, suddenly, for example, it's more apparent for women. Suddenly they want to wear hijab, they want to shift towards becoming a better Muslim. Normally the biggest challenge is because the surrounding is not really that conducive. So when they are going through that alone, some of them go back to their old ways, right? Because that is where the group becomes supportive, right? You behave in that way, not like a really practicing Muslim. So those who succeed, either they go out of entertainment business, or there's a bunch of them that wish to go have their own hijrah together, bond together, and as a small community, they can go through. I think that kind of bond, that kind of sharing, that kind of camaraderie, it makes it easier, relatively speaking, right? So I think that is important. So for those who want to become better Muslim, better person, etc., make sure you try to find and make dua to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala to give you those kind of friends, because it would really be helpful. It would really be.
Sad times, fun times, yeah. Like I really love them because they remind me of God. Yeah, like in every gathering, like without fail, we would talk about God because of our common intentions and experiences. We are able to help each other to grow in ways that we didn't realize. I was looking for a community. I was looking so hard, right, and I couldn't find it. And then when I wasn't looking for a community, that this community came, and the people and the experiences that we have, it just felt so. It's like I have a second family. Like the whole thing up to now, I'm still very amazed by how this group of people came into my life.
You got this family community.
I think I'll be more lonely, yeah, in my journey in Islam. Like everything is more, I have to learn by myself, and like I don't have someone else to ask. Yeah, I would say find a community, because it makes it easier for you to go through your struggles when you have someone struggling alongside you. And even if the person doesn't face the same thing, right, they can encourage you along your journey as well.
Would this community be able to feel that void in your heart?
I think that they feel a different part of my heart. Like my parents will always have a special place in my heart. After all, they are really people that brought me up, and like they did sacrifice a lot for me, and they brought me up to the best of their abilities. So no one can take their place.
Yeah, that's one thing that many of us born Muslim, don't really appreciate that much. I still remember Shakirit when he shared his experience becoming a Muslim, initially because of love, because she fell in love with a Muslim girl and she wanted to marry her. She had to become Muslim, but later on she really get into the understanding of Islam, etc., and become really a good practicing Muslim and good da'i. But one thing that he really, meaning when he mentioned that he really loved his father, his parent, that when I think his father died in a state that is not a Muslim, that really pained him, right? So for us born Muslim, we tend to take that for granted, I think, and we do not appreciate that much the Alhamdulillah, this revert have become Muslim, but of course they still love their parent, and they should, right? Their parent has sacrificed so much for them, and of course they wish the best for the parent, and the best is for them to become Muslim. And when there's no help, to help them, or effort to make their parent to be Muslim, especially from the Muslim community, that hurts. So what I can do is just make dua that hopefully they will be away one day, you know, inshallah the parents will come to Islam as well, just like the previous video where we watched a guy, a man that become Muslim, and I think about 1 year later the whole family, of course that is his wife and his children, become Muslim as well from the previous video, right? So that is possible, and hopefully I can only make dua from far for the lady and his husband, right? Yeah, so for those who are, you know, facing the challenges out there, please do have, you know, first find, and second make dua that Allah grant you, you know, those kind of you know, circle. I think the closest one that really is helpful is, you know, your spouse. If you know, if the spouse is even not in the same wavelength in your journey, that's even more, you know, even if you have are married, but you're still lonely in this journey, you know, that will be tough. But of course, even with marriage, we have to have other people surrounding us, and alhamdulillah for me, you know, in my journey, we have group of people very close that is, you know, for the last 20 years we are through together in this journey, and it is helpful, right? Without them, it is difficult to imagine I'm here with what I'm doing right now. So wallahu alam. Alhamdulillah, jazakumullah khairan katsira to those ikhwan and akhawat, those muallim, muallimat, friends, families that have supported me all this while. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So with that, I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.